The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Advanced Math Investing Incorporated cannot guarantee the future performance of a client's account or any specific performance level. Accounts are subject to various market, economic, political, currency, and other risks. Advanced math formulas are complicated and their usage may have limitation and difficulties. Welcome to Advanced Math Investing, an award-winning, registered investment advisor firm. As the name says, Advanced Math Investing is different than most investing companies. They use proprietary math algorithms to predict the market direction as well as individual stock direction. Advanced Math Investing will give your money the best chance possible in today's markets. And now, your host, Rand, the quant behind Advanced Math Investing.
Hi, good morning, South Florida. Today's January 6, 2022, a little after 10 in the morning. My name is Rand Robinson, and I'm the quant and investment advisor representative behind Advanced Math Investing. And yes, we use computer algorithms, our own, to look at three areas of the market to invest. The overall market direction, 1. 2, we look for undervalued stocks. 3, of the stocks that we follow, we look to see which direction they're going. Any one of these metrics on their own should be able to make you money. Combined, we think we have a more powerful strategy. I'm here to teach, inform, and to make friends. And if I use an audio clip during the show, it's allowed under the fair use exception to the U.S. copyright laws. Today, once today, it's Epiphany, Three Kings Day. The wise men showed up. I'm not going to get into the politics of today because that's not what I do. You guys are allowed to free will, make your own decisions. But I do want to talk about the Santa Claus rally because I talked about it last week. And how did Santa Claus do? Well, December 27th, opening the Spider, the SPY. They call it the Spider because it's the ETF that follows the S&P 500. And the reason people follow the Spider is you get dividends. If you're looking at the index, you don't get dividends. But the Spider was at 472.06, and on January 4th, the close, it was at 477.55. It gave you 5.49 points, which if you times it by 10, which would be equivalent to the S&P, would be 54.90 S&P 500 points. Well, that's a 1% gain in a week, or a little over a week. Good going, Santa. But it was wiped out yesterday when the Spider lost 9 points. Whew, Dow was down 392. So once Santa Claus left town, maybe Santa had an epiphany. It is epiphany. All right, let me give you a market update. I just want to refresh this so it's up to date. I see the Dow is down 164.61, 164.61. The NASDAQ down 156.57. The S&P 500 down 22.11, which in fighter terms would be 221. Anyway, that's easier to look at the spiders, I think. Let's look at the market movers. The 10 years at 174, the yield, 10-year yield. Most actives, again, I like to use the S&P 500, so at least we recognize the companies. Ford, again, in the actives, down 12 cents. Followed by Apple, always in the actives, down $1.85. AT&T, down 12 cents. All right, well, let's look at the percent gainers. It's a kind of a down day, so I don't know what the gainers are going to be like, but I have an interesting story on one of them. Lamb Wesson, French fry company, up 10.4%, up 6.59. Hess, little filling station people, oil and gas, really, up 3.75, up $3.03. Marathon and Oil, up 3%, up 57 cents. All right, let's look at the losers. Funny thing, Humana, which is healthcare, down 10.55%, down 48 points, 48.10. Enphase Energy, I think this is that Texas company that gave everybody the blackout in Texas. Down 5.97%, down $9 change. And Bath and Body Works. Oh, look at that, down 5%, 3.48. I'm going to give you. I forgot to give you the market breadth. Let's do that real quick. New York Exchange, 1843 shares up, 1454 down, pretty close, a little higher, more up than down on a down day. The new highs 47, new lows 116. Big switch to new lows. That's new, and the volume is 127 million, 66 million up, 59 down. So pretty close on the volume. And that's it. I want to give you the insider trading and earnings because that's what I do. Insider trading, here we go. Salesforce.com, which is the symbol CRM. I don't know if you know what CRM stands for, Customer Relations Management. They kind of took that term and put it as their stock symbol. The president, CFO Amy Weaver, sold 2.3 million shares. By the way, I'm not a fan of Salesforce.com because I think that's, I call it the evil empire. That's Big Brother. If you own a company and you want to track your employees and their vehicle or their company cars, you even can listen to them. They have microphones that you can put in. You can track. You can track everything. Their computer keystrokes, what they're looking on the computer. It's Big Brother for sale right there. Not my kind of company, but they make a lot of money and they're doing well. So if you're interested in that. Roku, another insider, Anthony Woods, CEO, sold 18.5 million. Google, Sundar Pichai, and sold 8.6. And Phyllis Schindler, I don't know who she is. Oh, senior vice president, sold 10.8 million. And HPQ, the computer people, Enrique Lores, the CEO, sold 1.2 million shares. So a little bit of selling, no buyers to speak of. And now earnings, Bed Bath & Beyond came out with earnings. They were down quite a bit, down 28% from a year ago. They posted a loss of $2.78 a share. But I believe it's up pre-market. Who would have thought? I mean, I had up 20%, up $2.75. I don't know if it still is pre-market. Now, the market's open now, so maybe different. And then the other one, Walgreens Boots, they beat earnings. Sales up 10% from a year ago. Their earnings were projected to be $1.33. They came out at $1.68. They're saying things are looking good with their testing and whatnot. And what do you know? The stock's down 2%. So kind of need a computer to understand this markets today. That's the earnings and the insider trading. So I'm going to get to the, people saying, what should I do? Should I buy or should I sell? You've got this information, share it. But I'm going to tell you that most you people you're in mutual funds. You don't need to know what to buy or sell. I mean, you're just locked into thousands of shares. And what difference does it make if the market's up? You're not traders. And if you are trading mutual funds, you really shouldn't be doing that. You're paying multiple advisors for their advice and then ignoring them and trading them. So if you're in mutual funds, you don't need my advice. And if you're an actual trader that's trading shares and you're doing well, hey, you don't need my advice. And if you're not doing well, text me or give me an email, rand@advancedmathinvesting.com. But I don't really think any one day in the market is a reason for anybody to freak out. You have a strategy, and if you like it, stick with it. If you don't like it, you should start looking around. Okay, my stock market investing word of the week, you're going to find is a little odd, but I'm telling you, it is a business term, and I'm going to explain why. My term of the week is honesty. And what big business in America does, and their ethics, they do trickle down to small businesses and individuals. And I'll give you a couple examples of which you already know. Boeing. They covered up their problems with the 737 MAX. They didn't have a manual, blah, 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 no training. And, the Muhlenberg was the CEO, and he was poo-pooing all this. But guess what? I do believe, and this is my opinion, that the large buyers of aircraft from Boeing said, this guy's got to go. And you know what? They listened. They fired him on, what day did they fire him? I thought I had it in my notes here. But they fired him. They gave him no severance pay and no bonuses and just did it on one day. Boom, you're out of here. And I think, honest people, honest businesses were outraged. And as they should have been. Another example, Wells Fargo, they were spoofing bank accounts. Again, the CEO was downplaying. Oh, it's a small issue. He hung on quite a long time before finally, I think the large customers, again, this is my opinion, said, you know what, there's a problem here. You need to address it. And they let him go. No bonuses on that guy either. So you're saying, well, that's in the history books, Give me a current example. I'm going to tell you. On December 29th, the front page of the Wall Street Journal had an article on Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook and how they're actively trying to divide Democrats and Republicans. They told Democrat staffers that the Republicans were supporting Kyle Rittenhouse. They told Republicans that Laura Hogan, she was the whistleblower, was working with a PR firm run by a former Obama aide. This is Facebook, not me. And they told reporters that she was a proxy for, Pierre Amadei, the founder of eBay, and he's a proponent of regulating these large tech firms. And it's actually a tough article to read to see all the shenanigans that Facebook has done. But if you want the article, I can email it to you. You can text me, Rand, or at 954-804-3722, and I'll send it to you. I can send you the article because I'm a subscriber to the Wall Street Journal, and they allow me to forward their news articles. And there's another article. I don't know. Did I? Congress is trying to regulate these social media companies. You got Twitter, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, you have YouTube, TikTok, which is owned by ByteDance, and China is known as Douyin. That's a Chinese company. And they're, kind of scratching their heads. How do we regulate these companies? And I feel like raising my hand. How about honesty? Is that hard? Just to tell the truth? And I know some of you are going to say, hey, the truth is different to everybody. But if you went to the court and they swore you in to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and then you told the judge, sir, I'm not sure if the truth is really out there. And, the judge said, sit down. We don't need your testimony. Thanks for nothing, really. Clown. So the truth is not that hard to find. And I have a story later on. I'm going to talk about my kids, but not right now. But we're gonna. Oh, okay. I'm gonna continue about ethics and honesty, but first we're gonna take a quick break. Thanks.
I ain't trying to do what everybody else doing. Just 'cause everybody doing what they all do.
Are you happy with your portfolio performance? Whether you are doing it yourself or have an advisor, if you are looking for an upgrade, consider an appointment with Advanced Math Investing. They utilize math algorithms to invest in today's markets. Text RAND at 954-804-3722 or email them at rand@advancedmathinvesting.com. And of course, he'll return your inquiries.
Hi, welcome back. Oh yes, there was another article, December 30th, in the Wall Street Journal, and about honesty again. They noted that 49% of hospitals have failed to post their fees, and this is required since January of 2021 by law. And there's a company called Turquoise Health, a startup focused on the transparency of hospitals. They said only 51% of the hospitals have released their negotiated rates. Again, this is basic honesty. You can't, why wouldn't they post their rates? I think they want to charge you a little more. I have another pet peeve. I think I'm going to quickly go into it because I'm going long on time. But interest rates. My son, who doesn't have great credit, gets these letters in the mail, 29.99 APR credit card. I mean, you can Google the highest interest rate allowed in Florida by law. It's usury. If it's 15%, they move it to 18% if it's over $500,000 amount. These people get around the Florida laws because they're in North Dakota or whatever. But is that would you even charge your worst enemy 29.9%? And they have annual fees. I mean, these people have no morals. I'm telling you. And this trickles down. You've probably seen it. AC people, healthcare people, car mechanics, hospitals. I mean, this trickle down thing. They do it. The big boys are doing it. So it's not right. We need to. And I'll give you a little story at the end of the show that I told my kids. But anyway, that's my beef. Let's move on to the stock pick, because I asked the viewers to give me a stock for me to get a fair value, and by a listener. And again, you can text me at 954-804-3722 or email me at rand@advancedmathinvesting.com. The stock this week by a listener is the symbol is RBGLY. It's a British company called Reckitt Benckiser Group. And you would think, I never heard of that. They have APR, the ADRs, they're listed on the exchange. But you would know this company by their products. You don't know them by the name, but here's the list of some of their products. Airwick, Calgon, Lysol, Woolite, Enfamil, Mead Johnson products. I think if you look at your can of Raid, it says Mead Johnson. It says Pledge. Anyway, their big sellers right now are Lysol and Metamucil. If you got a cold or a cough, that's one of their products. The stock is selling at $17.14, and I ran the fair value, and it's close. I have the fair value at $15.14. And the company basically recently warned that the inflation problems are going to hammer pricing. I guess, you can't charge too much for Raid. You're going to go to another company or any of their other products. So they're priced, handcuffed. But on the other hand, their gross sales have been just growing like mad. Like I think, I can't remember, but it's something like 8% a year. They're really doing well. So, and the old adage is growth makes up for a lot of other blemishes. So I consider this, and I'm just going to tell you, I looked up the analysts. 20 analysts follow this. 12 buy, 3 outperform, 5 hold. Nobody had an unperformer sale. So even the analysts like this. So I would say it's a good stock, but look to buy it on dips. That's my opinion. And I think the valued listener for that, and you guys, you can all be a valued listener. Now, this is the part of the show that I talk about advanced math investing. And in the past, I talked about retirement plans and savings and college savings. The third leg of advanced math investing is wealth building. You already have your retirement money. You already have college figured out. You want to grow your portfolio. And, making money is fun. Capitalism depends on fresh ideas and investments. And you don't need to be a colossal, giant investor to have a fun, have money that you want to grow. They do have, I do follow some of these giant movers, and I consider them natural funds. Saudi Arabia, Japan, Korea. These people move money like the biggest U.S. fund, and it's not by the government, is the Alaska Fund and CalPERS. And if you went to the Alaska Fund and printed out their holdings, you're going to run your printer out of paper. They just all over the place, but they don't use mutual funds. They buy the stock. So they're super diversified, but they're not paying any advisors other than the people who work for them. So good for them. Any wealth building is an important part of your strategy because, maybe you have plans. Maybe you want to open a business, be a politician, take care of your grandkids. Wealth building, it's fun, and everybody should do it. I mean, you can do it in real estate. You don't have to do it in stocks. I tend to like the stocks. Okay, I've got a story for you. And this is my kids. I got 3 boys. They're all like a year apart. When they were like 5, 6, and 7, they're being kind of characters. I think one of my sons stole a candy bar from Publix. So I set them down. I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about good and bad. And I said, you can be a good person or a bad person. I said, a bad person, you could steal, you can cuss, you don't have to do your homework, you could litter, you can talk bad to women, you're free to just forget about any norms of society. And I said, if you're a good person, you got to do your homework, you got to do your chores, you got to be on time, don't be littering, don't be stealing. And, my youngest kid, that was so cute, he said, well, why would anyone be a good person then? I said, oh, perfect question. I said, you know why? Because all the good people in the world are going to be your enemies. I said, including me. I see a kid stealing at Publix, I'm going to say something. I see a guy cheating in homework. And why would I say something? Because you're obligated if you're a good person. Otherwise, if good doesn't stand up against evil, then evil's just going to ransack everywhere, the universe. It's kind of the Star Wars story. So if you decide to be a good person, now you're obligated to squeal on the bad guys. So that was my little story. And let's see, do we have... Oh, when do we got... How much time do we have left? Oh, I got time. All right, I got time. We... I'm talking about predicting the future. Nobody wants to lose money. Even the big boys, and I follow some of these big boys. They can lose their skill at predicting the market is just maybe a fraction better than the average person. They're not that. I mean, they're maybe a little bit better, but amazingly, they can lose some horrible amounts of money. Warren Buffett took a $2 billion loss in IBM. For the first quarter in 2020, he Berkshire Hathaway, which is his company, took a $50 billion loss. And one of their big holdings, Teva Pharmaceuticals, he held it since 2017, is down 52%. So the big boys are not so perfect, but it's interesting that they can buy and sell in this market and not even budge the market. You got Elon Musk, who sold over $1 billion in shares of his company. You'd think the market Tesla would collapse. No, the market can absorb that. And that's one of the reasons when I developed this program, I looked at commodities, lumber, pork bellies, foreign currencies, cotton, orange juice, and I realized they're too thinly traded. The people that know what's going on, they're there ahead of you. They're selling ahead of you. You can't make, no matter how fancy your computer is, you can't make money with these guys. It's too small a market. But the stock market, gigantic. I can't budge the market, neither can these big boys. It's worldwide. And people use the United States as a focus from all around the world to put their money in. So it's a fair market. That's why I like that. Even the big boys can lose. They're not running the show. I've got a nice little clip I want to leave the show with, and thank you guys. Happy investing and
want to meet your financial objectives. If you would like to contact Rand, text him at 954-804-3722. For more information, go to advancedmathinvesting.com. Tune in next time to hear from Rand help you follow the smart money.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.